And so the pretty young chick and the proud young buck exchanged their pledges of love. And the cock did crow, and the chick did crow. Together they had quite a crow, and they might have lived happily ever after, except that, wouldn't you know it, just at that critical moment, a gorgeous fox happened to trot by. And her name was Vixen. This sly fox knew well all the ancient arts of magic, so she was able to cloud the mind of the young buck with her beauty. Suddenly, overcome, blinded by desire, the young buck forgot all about the pretty chick and her stunning ass. Instead, under the spell of the beguiling fox, he scampered away after her, led by his eager, insatiable cock. Seeing this, the poor, pretty young chick was so upset that she sat down on her famous ass and began to weep. She cried buckets and rivers and a great salt lake, and when she finally dried her tears, a terrible anger set in. Alone, with nothing to strike at, and no desire to whip her own dear ass, the pretty young chick began to binge on food. She ate everything in sight. She even ate her crow. She ate and ate and ate, and in no time her renowned and once shapely ass had swollen up to half the size of Kansas. After some time, and much prodding by his large, insistent cock, the proud young buck recovered his senses and managed to escape from the enchantment of the sleek, sly fox. Or, more likely, she released him for another buck. He returned to the chick, rehearsing his apologies, regretting that he had ever strayed. "Fool," he said to himself, "what could I have been thinking, to pass up an ass like that?" But when he came to her house and saw what time, anger, and far too many rich pastries and puddings had done, he spoke to her with great sadness. "Alas, my pretty chick," he said, "I have returned to beg your forgiveness and to pledge my love. But I cannot marry you now, for look, your ass, once the crown jewel of this land of yore, is now half the size of Kansas." "I would not marry you anyway," cried the chick, "for you are nothing but a proud young buck with a great big cock. I want nothing to do with either of you." "And hear me," said the chick, "it is true. I have eaten cakes and pies. I've even had my share of crow. But in time, with the proper diet and exercise, my ass will shrink and regain its former luster. This I know. But great or small, it will never be for you, for I could never trust you to be true." And so, both full of sorrow and more than a little crow, they went their separate ways, never to meet again. Oh dear, alack, and surfeits of woe, the moral of this sorry tale is so: despite what you may have heard or think, twixt looks and love there is no link. A shapely ass and a giant cock are for happiness no sure lock, not in the ancient land of yore, which is all the time gone on before, or even for us all today. And so endeth now our play.
What about the lion? You forgot the lion.
Though filled with woe and tears and sighing, that story is true, and I ain't lying.